You are listening to Robot Junkyard, written by Tyler Boroff. Prologue. Hi, my name is Tyler. The year is 2015. A long time ago on July 21st, in the year 2009, my birthday, a friend of mine named Austin and I were in a mountain trying to find gold, just for fun, and we stumbled upon a secret cave with a blue orb in it. We picked it up, and all these robots came out and started terrorizing the whole world. We tried to stop them, but we couldn't. On July 21st, 2010, exactly 1 year later, a gigantic robot came out and called itself Tenyks. He was the leader of the robots. He took over the world and made humans his and his robots slaves. In the year 2011, Austin and I formed a rebel alliance to fight the robots and save Earth. These books tell the whole story about the Rebel Alliance in a robot junkyard. Chapter 1. In the Beginning. Sir, we are picking up readings outside the base of robotic lifeforms, said Stephen, my communications officer. There seems to be about 15 of them, sir. Do they have weapons, Stephen? I asked him. No, sir. They seem to be on a reconnaissance mission. I'm going out there. Matt, John, and Austin, follow me. Lasers at full charge and full power. Try to keep their main systems alive so we can find out what Tenyks was looking for, get some more information of our own. They all said at one time, Yes, sir. We went out there, and a big war ensued. They had arm lasers on. We had never seen that before. We fought for 1 hour. When we finally got them all, we went to one of them to get its computer chip so we could find out what Tenyks was looking for. I pulled out its chip, and a robot hit us from behind. It missed me, but hit and killed John. I hid behind a rock and shot and destroyed it instantly. The next day, we had a ceremony for John. I gave the eulogy. After we buried him in the robot junkyard, we found out what the robots were looking for. They seemed to be looking for all of our base entries. Some of them they were able to send to Tenyks before you killed them all. We will have to seal off doors 1 and 2, all the way to 5, said James, my computer expert. Damn, it looks like Tenyks is getting a lot smarter. His robots now have gun arms that we can't detect, and they can send information to Tenyks without going to him. This is not good. Try to figure out from that chip if there is a way to deactivate their comlink. I'm going out there to see if I can find any other robots that are trying to infiltrate our base. Austin, do you want to come with me, old friend? Yes, I would, Tyler. We went out to find any robots that were trying to infiltrate our base. We found 5 of them spread out with a mile between them all. We were able to sneak up on them and kill them before they even knew we were there. When we were done, we went in our jet planes to California, the only place the robots couldn't get into because they made a magnetic barrier around all of California. We went to Disneyland. We got back to base the next morning. Tyler, we thought you were dead for a while there, shouted Stephen as we got out of our jets. You saw that our planes were gone. You should have known that we were alive somewhere. Sorry, sir. Stephen, what are you doing in our private jet hangar? Asked Austin. When you guys left, Tenyks attacked and destroyed our base in 3 out of 5 sectors, Montana, Illinois, and Michigan. Damn, we both said at the same time. Is the base here all right? I asked. Yes, but 1 robot got in, Stephen said, sadly. They got Amy. What? I exclaimed. I started running towards sickbay. She's in a coma, sir, shouted Stephen, far behind me. I ran right into sickbay and went beside her bed. Amy, please wake up. If you die, I will have no reason to live in this already messed up world. Please don't die on me. Please. We do not have the technology to get her out of the coma, but we can keep her alive until we do, said the doctor, Amy's twin sister, Ashley. I will leave you two alone now, she said, and left. I stayed there all night and all day, and all the next night and all the next day. I did not sleep nor eat until the fourth day, when it happened. There was a big bang. I thought it was an earthquake, but I was wrong. Way wrong. Tyler, Tenyks is outside with a gigantic robot bigger than himself. Let's go check it out then, shall we? I asked. I will go out first to see if I can find out what Tenyks and his friend wants, I told everyone. I went out and said to Tenyks, What do you want? I want you to meet my new friend, Volvaga, king of dragon robots. I looked at Volvaga. He was bigger than Tenyks, but skinny like a snake. He was made of red, what looked like pure titanium steel and black metal. He could even breathe fire. He weaved around in the air. What? He could float in air? That is really messed up for us when we have to fight him, which seems to be right now. I ran back to the base and told everybody to stay calm and not to panic. Austin, Steven, Matt, James, Kelly, Travis, and me went out there with lasers at full power and ready to fire at a single notice. When we got outside again, Tenyks and Volvaga were gone. We searched around for a little bit, but found nothing. When we were returning to the base, Volvaga appeared out of nowhere and grabbed me and took me away. I tried to fight him by shooting him, but I couldn't. It was like he had a spell over me that made me unable to move. He took me to Tenyks, and Tenyks said, Good work, Volvaga. I am very proud of you. You may return to your people in Death Valley, as I promised. As for you, Tyler, leader of the rebellion, I shall turn you into one of us. Then we will have your skill and knowledge on our side. Then your rebellion will be crushed. Chapter 2, Return of Tyler. Hi, my name is Austin. The year is 2016. It is 1 year after Tyler, our leader, disappeared. I'm now in charge of everything that goes on here until Tyler comes back. I know he will someday. Sir, we are picking up readings from outside the base. It is an organic/robotic life form, sir, said Steven. What do you mean it's half organic and half robotic? That's impossible. We are the only humans left alive in the new world except for California, which Tenyks can't get into. See if you can find out who or what that thing is. Matt, try to get a visual on who it is. I'm going out there to find out for myself, I said. Sir, let me and James go, said Travis. Okay, but be careful, I told them. They went out there and hid from the new robot until they could get a good look at it. When they saw it, they came back into the base, looking like they saw a ghost. Travis said, Sir, you won't believe what we saw. Even if you saw it yourself, I still don't believe it. Tell me anyway. It was Tyler. I was stunned to hear it and said, You're right. I don't believe it. Matt, do you have a visual yet? I still could not believe it. Yes, sir, I do. And it is, in fact, Tyler. I walked over to Matt and looked at the screen. I'll be damned. It is Tyler. But he's part robot. Damn Tenyks. I'm going out there. Travis, James, you're coming with me. We walked out there afraid Tyler would have no memory of us. I walked up to him and said, Tyler, do you remember who I am? He looked at me and said, Yes, I remember you, Austin. My mission is to destroy you. He lunged toward me and I ran toward the base. Travis, James, run towards the base and hurry! I yelled to them behind the rock they were hiding behind. They ran as fast as they could back to base. We barely made it in. I was able to close and lock the doors before Tyler could get in. I walked into the Communications and Visual Aid Center and had everybody go to the meeting room. I sat in my chair at the front of the table and said, "Okay, as you all know by now, Tyler is back, but he is half robotic because of Tenyks' twisted wiring. Tyler is not the same person because of the way Tenyks turned him. Does anybody have any plan to turn Tyler back so he can fight with us again?" Everybody started to think about what they could do, including myself. "I have a plan," Travis suddenly exclaimed. "We could go out there and stun his circuits with our guns and talk to his human side, which will probably still be good still, and find out if there is a way to turn his robotic side to fight for us and be our leader again." "But what if his human half is evil? Maybe Tenyks brainwashed him or something like that," argued Steven. "Steven has a point, but it's the best plan. I think anyway. That will be better than anybody else," I said. "Does anybody have a better plan?" Everybody shook their head. "Fine. We will go out there right now and see if this plan will work." Travis, Steven, James, and Ashley went with me. We all had our lasers at stun. We saw Tyler searching for an old entrance we had to destroy after he left because of a robot attack. I signaled for everybody to circle around him. I signaled for everybody to go as slow and carefully so Tyler didn't detect us. When everybody was positioned around him, I shouted, "Now!" Everybody got up at the same time Tyler did and fired at him. Everybody hit him. I went down first to make sure Tyler's robotic side was stunned. When I was sure he was stunned, I signaled for everybody to come down and help me take him to sickbay. When we got to sickbay, the doctor gave Tyler a shot that had a chemical that would wake up his human side while keeping his robotic side dormant. It did not work. The doctor gave him twice as much, but still did not work. We tried to get his human side to wake up, but no matter what we did, his human side would not wake up. After half an hour of trying, we gave up and went to sleep so we could try again the next day. The next morning in the breakfast hall, I noticed a strange hole in one of the walls, hidden by shadows. I walked over there and went through the tunnel. It was a very short tunnel, and when I got to the end of it, I saw Tyler running away. I ran back to the breakfast hall and went straight for the red alert alarm. I then used the base comm and said, "Everybody who's a high-ranking officer, come to my quarters immediately. Tyler has escaped. I repeat, Tyler has escaped. Report to my quarters immediately." In about 10 seconds, everybody was in my room. "What the hell happened? How did he escape?" shouted Steven. "Why wasn't anybody watching him? I told you this wouldn't work." "Relax, everybody. He may have escaped, but I put a tracking device on him for just these emergencies," explained Travis. "We can look at him with this." He pulled out a little screen and turned it on. "That little dot is Tyler. According to this, his robotic side has not come online yet, but it seems that his human side is evil now, too. We do need another plan, but until then, we can watch Tyler with this. I have copies for all of you. Just go to your computer in your room and ask for Tyler TV. "I am very proud of you, Travis," I told him. "Now, about the other plan. Does anybody have any ideas as to what we could do to get Tyler back here long enough to talk to him at the least?" Everybody started talking amongst themselves. Minutes went by, and everyone went silent to think of their own plans. Minutes turned into hours until Ashley finally said something. "Why don't we use my sister, Amy, and see if he will remember her or not? And he will either run away or turn back because she is not out of her coma." Ashley started to cry. I walked over to her and hugged her. "That is a good idea, Ashley. I know it is hard for you to see your twin like that. Travis, let me see that Tyler TV for a second. I want to see where Tyler is right now and how long it will take for us to get to him." Travis tossed me the screen, and I looked at it for a while before I said anything. "It looks like he is about 5 miles away. He's pretty fast to make it that far in 19 minutes. I can get him in the Red Angels. It would take me around a minute to get to him, and then I can show him Amy and see what he does." I got in Red Angel 2 and went toward Tyler. I went to 3,000 feet so as Tyler could not see me. I put the jet into hover mode and stood above Tyler for a while. Tyler just stood there for 3 minutes. Then he turned up and looked straight into my eyes. I quickly got out of hover mode and landed. I got out and pulled Amy's cryogenic freezing tube out of the back of the jet. Tyler froze when he saw it, which was good. For us, anyway. Tyler, do you remember Amy? Your girlfriend and soon-to-be wife? Yes, I do remember Amy. You did that to her. I will kill you in the name of Tenyks and take her and give her life. You are wrong. Tenyks did this to Amy a long time ago before he turned you into a robot and erased your memory. Tenyks is to blame for this, not me or anybody else in the rebellion. The thing that made you like this, I pulled out a mirror, is the reason Amy is like that. He looked into the mirror and a tear formed from his human half of his body. I will destroy Tenyks and join you again. His circuits were failing or he was overriding his programming from Tenyks. A big blast came from Tyler and he fell to the ground. I ran over to him to see if he was okay. After a minute or two, he woke up. Austin, is it you? Yes, it is me, Tyler. Glad to have you back in reality. We both laughed for a while. Then I put Amy back in the back and told Tyler to ride with me in the front. No, I want to be with Amy in the back, but thank you. Okay. I got in the pilot's seat and took off. I went slow on the way back so Tyler could have more time with Amy. When we got back, I had a robot doctor take Amy to the medical room to make sure she was all right. I got Tyler his commander suit and took him to the bridge. When we got there, everybody was excited about Tyler's return from Tenyks. But that was short-lived because Volvaga, the robot dragon that took Tyler the first time, was outside, and he was mad. Tyler had Travis, Steven, and me go with him to ultimately destroy Volvaga. We got out there, and we started firing right away. We did not want to talk. After a long battle, Volvaga went down. We had a party for both Tyler's return and Volvaga's death. We knew it was only a small step for mankind, but it worked out for us. We knew Tenyks would probably send guys after us all the time to try to get Tyler back, but we will not let them. We will always try and fight and never give up on our friends and family. Or, I guess, we will never give up on our family. Because that is what we all are. A family. Chapter 3. The Death of Tenyks. I've been back for 4 years. Tenyks only tried to get me back once, and it wasn't even that big of a fight. He sent 10 robots with dual gun arms, but they were slow and couldn't pivot well, so it was easy to destroy them all. That was 3 years ago. Tenyks has been silent since then. We know he is up to something, but we don't know what or when he will execute his plan. We are trying to find out where Tenyks is. He left his base 4 months ago, but we have no clue as to why he did it. He knew we couldn't get there before his sensors detected us, so the big question is, why? I got out of bed and walked to HQ to see if they have any new news about Tenyks or the robots that worked for him. When I walked in, Austin pointed his gun at me, then lowered it and said, "At first I thought you were a robot. Sorry, Tyler." "It's okay, but I think you were just looking for an excuse to kill me." Ha! You're right, I was. We both laughed, silently, for a couple of minutes. Then I asked, "Do you have any new reports on Tenyks' location or robots?" "No, I do not." "It really bothers me, though." "What does?" "The fact that Tenyks should be trying to get you back to join him because that's the only way he would be able to destroy the rebellion. And instead, He's running away from people who don't even know how to destroy him. Yeah, I guess that can get a man mad. I walked over to the screen and looked for any strange or unusual signs, but found none. I agreed with Austin that this is a very strange time. I then said, what if someone like me, a half-human, half-cyborg, betrayed Tenyks and destroyed him, and then took the spare parts and used it on themselves? Or he could have found a way to make himself human? I say that because he can turn humans into cyborgs, but can he turn cyborgs into humans with the strength of a cyborg? Austin thought about it for a while and finally said, that would be very bad, because that would mean that Tenyks or any of his cyborgs could be members of the rebellion. Tenyks could tell them to destroy us in an instant. We just stood there, looking at the screens until the next morning when Ashley came in. What are you guys doing up so early in the morning? We looked at each other and then looked at our watches. It was 6:30 a.m. We had been up since midnight. We didn't notice that we had been up for so long, I explained to Ashley. Sure you didn't, she said, and then giggled. She walked over to the screen, and we all stared at it for 2 hours, hoping to find any clue as to where Tenyks might or might not be. Once again, we found nothing. Ashley thought she saw something, but it was nothing really. Austin went back to his room to get some sleep. I followed him to my own room. I slept all day and all night, and Austin did the same. The next morning I went to HQ and went straight over to the screen and stared at it, and it stared at me. And nothing happened. Once again, there was no clue as to where Tenyks went to. Someone came into the room, but I did not pay attention to who it was. The person came up behind me and said, Tyler, is it really you, Tyler? Yes, it is me. I turned around and saw her. Amy? I stood there dazed at her beauty and confused at her being out of her coma. We stood there looking at each other for 3 minutes. Tyler, what happened to your body? You look half machine. I am. Tenyks took me away right after you went into a coma. That was 5 years ago. He turned me into a cyborg. I almost destroyed the rebellion. If it wasn't for Austin, I would have destroyed the rebellion. He took you and put you into a cryogenic freezing tube and showed you to me. It made me remember that Tenyks was responsible for that, and I was able to override my programming and took control of both halves of my body. I've been normal for 4 years. Have I really been in a coma for 5 years? Yes, you have, Amy. I got her some clothes to put on since she couldn't wear any with the treatment we gave her. Thank you, Tyler, she said. 5 minutes later, Austin came in. Who was in here? Amy! You're alive! She shook her head. Austin ran over to her and hugged her and kissed her head. He ran out and came back a minute later with Amy's sister, Ashley. Ashley ran over to her and hugged her. Amy hugged her back. Everybody came in and saw Amy there and took turns hugging her. We had a big party for her return. Amy and I stayed up all night talking about what happened while she was in a coma. I missed you so much. For us, it has been 5 years, and to you, a matter of minutes, I said. I know, Tyler, but I could not help it. She started to cry. I hugged her, and then we kissed. We sat there like that for a long time. After a while, we both fell asleep. The next morning before Amy woke up, I made scrambled eggs and pancakes for breakfast, for me and her. I set up her table and waited until she woke up. I almost forgot the candles. When she woke up, she was happy that last night was not a dream and that I was real. She was very excited when she saw that I made breakfast. We ate and talked some more about everything that had been going on in the past 5 years. Ashley walked in and asked how everything was going and said, "I need Amy for a while, Tyler. I want to talk to her, and I need her to go to sickbay to make sure she doesn't slip into a coma again." "Okay, I'll leave you two alone to talk," I said, and kissed Amy on the cheek and left for HQ. When I got there, it was 8:30 a.m., and, as always, Austin was in there, looking for Tenyks. "Don't you ever stop to eat or sleep, Austin?" I asked him, jokingly. "No." He laughed a little. I walked over to our food processor and got us both some coffee. We drank our coffee and looked at the screen for Tenyks, but, as always, found nothing. "Austin, remember when Ashley thought she saw something?" "Yes, I do. But it was nothing, remember?" I told the computer to lock onto the disturbance and told it to tell us what it was. "It seems to be a very high-frequency cover-up device," the computer said. We both spat out our coffee at the same time and looked at it. Then we both hit our heads on the table at the same time. Tenyks was right outside our base by 10 meters the whole time. Nobody ever went outside. That is why no one could find him. The cloaking device only works on computers and not on human eyes. We ran to the weapons facility. I used the comm and said, "Attention, everyone, report to the weapons facility right now. Tenyks is right outside of our base. This is going to be the final battle before we win back the world's freedom." Today, on July 4th, 2020, Independence Day. This time, it won't be celebrated as an American holiday, but a holiday that will be celebrated worldwide. Because today, we fight for our independence. We fight for a new world. A world of peace and justice. A world that we will rule, that stands for freedom. Today will be the final battle we will ever fight. Good luck to all of you. Let's go out there and kick some butt. Everyone cheered. I walked off the pedestal and handed everyone 2 guns each with extra ammo. Austin and I got the last 4 guns, which are our own special guns we made, with lots of extra ammo I could put in one of my holders on my robot side. We walked to the front of the army and stepped out into the robot junkyard that would act as the final battle this planet would ever have. "Everyone stay here until Austin or I give you the signal to shoot," I said to the crowd. Austin and I walked forward towards Tenyks' base. We walked in the front door. There were gunshots. We both ran out and yelled, "Shoot to kill! Shoot to kill!" We dived behind a bunker and waited for 3 seconds. Then robots started appearing from everywhere. The noise was so loud I wouldn't have been surprised if California heard it. Guns and lasers firing everywhere. After hours of fighting, we only had 9,900 men left from a total of 10,000. I knew what I had to do. I ran towards Tenyks' base and went inside. I worked my way around corridors and long hallways until I got to Tenyks himself.
"So, Tyler, you have decided to join me again, have you?"
"No, Tenyks, I have not. I've decided to destroy you."
"You know that if you kill me, you will die too, because of your programming."
"I took that chip out, Tenyks. I can kill you and walk away just fine." Tenyks was scared. Even though he was a robot, I could tell he was scared. I pulled out my guns and pointed it at him.
"Wait, Tyler, we can talk about this." Ha 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 ha! "You don't want to kill me. I gave you the power to destroy me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have the power to kill me."
If it wasn't for you, the world would be a better place. In the past, the present, and the future would all be a wonderful time to live. Because of you, many people have died. Many national structures have been destroyed. Many historical structures have been wrecked beyond belief. Because of you, Amy was in a coma for over 5 years. Because of you, I look like this. I walked over to a computer he had in there that controlled his robots. I was able to bypass security codes and entered a command for all of the robots to be destroyed.
What are you doing, Tyler? If you do that, all of my robots will be destroyed, and I will be left defenseless against your attacks.
I just nodded and kept entering commands. Tenyks, you stay there until I get back. I went back outside to see if the commands had worked. Sure enough, they had. My men cheered when the last of the robots blew up. I smiled. All of a sudden, Tenyks' base started to shake. Tenyks was turning himself into a giant.
Tyler, you should have joined me. Then none of this would have. Since you did not join my
Tenyks started to shake. He shut down. How was the big mystery? Fire! Shoot! Shoot to kill! I yelled and everyone opened fire on Tenyks. He exploded. Austin came out from behind the pile of metal. How did you get Skynet to shut down? I asked him. I just unplugged him. Oh. The end.